You guys remember Al Green waving his cane around at Trump's speech back in February at the joint address to Congress? Yeah, that guy, he got thrown out of Trump's address to Congress as well back in February. Well, he decided that he was going to have articles of impeachment drafted against President Donald Trump. I kid you not.
People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Yeah, I don't know the last time Al Green was that aroused. But he tried. He wanted to impeach the old Trumpster. And even his own party yesterday said, nah, we're good. Can't do it. Not the right time. Sorry, no way, no how. The House voted 344 to 79 to table Green's resolution yesterday, just hours after he introduced it. Al Green filed the articles on the grounds of, quote, abuse of presidential powers by disregarding the separation of powers, devolving American democracy into authoritarianism by unconstitutionally usurping Congress's power to declare war. That was part of the filing by Al Green. And even here in the Kansas City area, Emmanuel Cleaver. That's right. Cleaver said, no, I'm good.
You mustard moo.
Yeah, that's what Green was yelling at him in the back room after he voted against impeachment. And Sharice Davids on the Kansas side said, we can't do this. Even Nancy Pelosi said we can't do this. So this clearly was something that was not popular on the Democratic side of the aisle. And good on them for once in a while seeing the light of day. And maybe it's by accident. Maybe I'm giving too much credit. But at least they realized that if nothing else, they don't have the political capital. First off, the votes wouldn't have been there because the Republicans have the majority. But they just would not have had the political equity or capital to look good in the media and look good amongst the American people voting to impeach this guy based on what happened over the weekend. John?
Sometimes Letterman's clubs, when you earn multiple letters, you just get stripes on your sleeve. So, if there was a presidential letter jacket for impeachment, Trump's got the letter. He's got the stripes on the sleeve, and he's still here. So what's the point?
Oh, man. So the vote made it pretty clear that most Democrats, like Republicans, do not see the impeachment as a realistic, successful option at this point. But you look at where this all goes from here, and the fact that you have people actually lobbying for this tells me that nothing has been learned based on November. Like, you impeach the guy multiple times first time around, right? You then try to basically sick a New York attorney general against him during his 4 years when he was not in office. You're throwing every legal thing you can. You're raiding Mar-a-Lago. You're doing all this stuff. And the guy gets back in the White House, and he blows it out by today's standards in a 50-50 country. Wins the popular vote. Wins 7 swing states. And it's like, I know what we need to do. We haven't tried. Oh, wait. You mean we have? Oh, yeah, we have tried this before, haven't we? You mean this won't work the third or fourth time? This isn't going to do any good for us, especially when you're actually impeaching him on something that for the large majority of people, they look at and they agree with the fact that Iran should not possess a nuclear weapon. That's an 80-20 issue in this country, and it's not even close.
I saw Stephen A. Smith bring that very point up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. He brought it up.
Did you not learn the lesson on Election Day was basically what he starts with.
And Charlemagne the God, who is a very prominent figure in the black community, hosts a nationally syndicated radio show. He was talking about this very issue as well this week and how Democrats in particular don't have a leg to stand on based on what we told you earlier in the week, that in 2016 alone, Barack Obama dropped 26,000 bombs in the Middle East. 12,000 in Syria and 12,000 of those in Iraq.
There have been a bunch of presidents who have ordered strikes without congressional approval. Barack Obama did it against Libya. Joe Biden ordered strikes in Iraq and Syria without congressional approval. Bill Clinton did it. So presidents ordering military action without congressional approval has become pretty routine. So why didn't it lead to impeachment for everybody else? Like when Barack Obama did it, when Biden did it,
but
when
it
Clinton
has.
did it.
Oh, yeah. That was Charlemagne the God. By the way, can I start doing my segments with that little bumpity bump bump underneath? Or should we not do
the
that?
Human beatbox like the Fat Boys will retro do.
You're going to be tired by 1 hour down in the show, John. That's a lot of work, man. We're better off Mark just rolling something underneath the show.
Yep.
But either way, I was listening to that, and I'm like, okay, that sounds good. That's an interesting approach to do. But I guess when you're a music station, you have to do that. You can't have the pregnant pause because people then
never talk over dead air.
They think you're off the air. Mm-hmm. They get uncomfortable if there's a second of dead air on these shows. But it's okay. It's talk radio. That's how we talk to each other. Oh, man. You're going to be drinking 2 Dr. Peppers a day if you have to do that all morning.
No, but when you switch to a topic, it's like, wow, wow. So it's instantaneous. Quicker than AI.
Yeah, that would be good, man. Hey, it's all about job security around here, right? That's what it's about. Unbelievable. So this is something I saw yesterday. J.D. Vance was giving a speech. Ooh. Sounds like a video game opening, doesn't it? That's what it sounds like to me. Is this your bumper of choice, Mark, as I'm doing the whole show with this underneath it?
I just typed in random hip-hop beat.
And this is what you got?
Yeah.
This is what it came up with?
I'm a little electro to me.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing, John. Oh, it's going to drop here. This sucks.
I agree. Most of them do, but
yeah. All right. Boy, I'm glad I'm not doing that for a living. My gosh. Okay. J.D. Vance, he's definitely not listening to that hot garbage. He shared a hilarious Donald Trump story last night. He was speaking in Ohio to their state Republican Party, and he shared this story about Trump and how they were going through a very serious situation in the Oval Office, and Trump hit the red button.
And the president looks over at me, puts the foreign leader on mute and says, "This is not going very well," and he presses the red button. And my eyes get really big, and I'm like, "Mr. President, what just happened?" And he looks at me and he goes, "Nuclear. Nuclear." And 2 minutes later, a guy walks in with a Diet Coke, and he looks back at me and he says, "It wasn't nuclear, it's just the Diet Coke button." And that's... So that's the kind of guy, and my fellow Republicans, that we have as the President of the United States.
That was J.D. Vance telling this story last night in Ohio, and that is just hilarious. He's sitting there, he goes, puts it on mute. Not going well. Hits the big red button, nuclear. In comes a guy with a Diet Coke less than 2 minutes later. Honestly, I would have put the over-under on the guy showing up with a Diet Coke at about 45 seconds. The fact that it took 2 minutes, I guess it's a long walk from wherever the Diet Coke is in the White House to the Oval Office, but that seemed like a little long. If I'm the president and I push a button for a Diet Coke, I expect that they're in about 45 seconds. That does feel a little long at 2 minutes, but I guess, it's a big place.
It is a big place, and I'll bet he got that time cut down from whatever it used to be.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Who gets that job? Just gets to sit by the Diet Coke machine, too.
Yeah, that's quite a gig in the White House.
Well, they got relay team.
Yeah,
you got somebody waiting there in the third lane, standing there waiting for the baton.
You get a pension with that gig? That's what I want to know. Do they have a trial to figure out who can outpace the other guy in walking down the halls of the White House to get the Diet Coke to Trump without spilling a single, sip of it? I don't know.
Got a test.
That's a fascinating gig.
Pays well, but it's just a 4-year gig. Right?
I know. That's true. That's very right. Maybe it's the same guy that was bringing Biden his diapers for 4 years. I don't know.